Good morning, Justin. Welcome to the Oaklawn Camping Hour. A special coffee with dew, and I got my hat on.
I don't think this can count as coffee with dew because unless you want it to.
No, what a show. Yeah, it's like a hybrid. Well, it's Oaklawn Camping Hour.
You're drinking Diet Coke.
Diet Coke with dew. Dude, RFK Jr. is going to have a field day with that one. You know what they put in that?
Say again?
Do you know what they put in Diet Coke?
Just natural ingredients, I'm assuming.
Yeah. All right. Marco is wiping the sleepies out of his eyes. I don't know where this guy's at. I called him. He sounded like he was playing blackjack till 3 a.m. at Oaklawn.
Well, I hope if that's true, I hope he won a lot of money.
I don't think it's true. So what's going on, man? You couple of
Well,
things. You're playing in the Twin Spires tournament today.
yeah, I won 2 entries into that, and it's a $400 entry fee with 200 to the prize pool, 200 live bankroll. Pretty standard formula, which is you've got to make at least 5 wagers of at least, I think it's at least $20 each, and you got to bet the full 200. And you and I talked last night. I know you're in the contest, and that's fine. We can talk openly.
Yeah.
There's a horse that I'm pretty sure you and I are going to be talking about here a little bit later. That you and I both. I don't know if it's both of our plays of the day, but as soon as I said I wanted to play, I loved the horse in this race. You then blurted out the name of the horse that I was thinking. So, that horse will be key to the contest for me. And then there's another one in the 2-year-old, rather than 3-year-old Philly Stakes race that I like a lot. That's going to be a bit of a price. So I look forward to talking about those horses. They're both going to be key to my contest play today.
Okay. Good stuff. So yeah, Twin Spires has a contest for Oaklawn. I mean, I don't even know what the prizes are for this thing, but you could buy in for $400. And what are they giving out? I don't even know.
They're giving away entries into the Kentucky Derby Betting Challenge.
Okay.
So that's, what are we about 4 months away? Is that right? February, March. Yeah, 4 months away. Now, just to be clear, that contest is on Derby Day, obviously, and the cost to enter that contest is $5,000. So with 200 going to the prize pool, today's prize is 1 per 25. So for every 25 entrants, they will give away 1 seat into the Derby Day Kentucky Derby Betting Challenge. And as of this moment, there are 53 entries in today's contest. So for now, there are just 2 seats up for grabs.
Okay.
There you go.
And then if I'm, I tell everybody on the show I'm going to go to Sam Houston for the tournament. There's feeders today. There's actually the main contest today for $118, $1,500 buy-in. They're giving out 2 BCBC. They're giving out, I think, 2 or 3, 2 for sure NACs. And that's a nice little prize structure for a boutique cool little tournament. By the way, they had opening day at Sam Houston, and Lady J, I know a lot of you guys can't bet, but Lady J looks like I don't want to say a lock, but she'll be even money today and will probably win the race. And I do want to mention it's an oldie but goodie. Last race I don't expect him to win. It's a 17-month layoff, but Lamplighter Jack is making his first start off of a 17-month layoff. He's a family favorite horse. He's in a lifetime 16 starter for 5 panels. So it's not really his distance, but it's a good comebacker. Get his legs underneath himself, use the races at work, and then stretch him out in his next start if everything works out and he comes out of the race good.
That's exciting. And not to derail the conversation, but the Sam Houston contest. So I don't think I'm going to Pegasus. The Sam Houston contest is the same weekend as Pegasus. Can you remind me what the rules are on that? What's the entry fee and the format?
Entry fee, I think the entry fee is, I thought it was 1,000. It might be 1,500. It's one of those two. I'm going to have Texas Mike on probably next weekend to go in depth about it. But I think you have to bet. It's similar to Hawthorne and stuff, I think. But you have to bet half your bankroll at Sam Houston racetrack, and the other half could be anywhere else, I believe.
Okay. Well, I'll look into that after we get off the air here and read about it.
Yeah, so something to look into. The weather today, Marco's my weather guy. He's not on. He should be coming on shortly. I think it's fast and dry.
Well,
I'll
use my trusty iPhone app here to check out the weather in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Currently 37 degrees, mostly cloudy. I don't see any rain in the forecast today.
Good.
One thing we don't have to worry about at Arkansas is, or at Oaklawn is off the turf for obvious reasons.
Right. Which I know bums you out.
Yeah, but I managed to find, dirt racing, as you know, it's not. I just feel that my handicapping style is better for turf racing, which
Mhm.
kind of makes the Oaklawn contest a little bit odd to me. The only reason I'm even in it is because these Twin Spires contests, in my opinion, they're mostly entered by folks that I think use a questionable style to play these contests, and I just think they're ripe for the picking. And I played in some qualifiers, and I won both of them. They were just a few days apart. Actually, I got first in one, second in another. You won one last night, I think, right?
Yeah, I hit one last night. I hit the first race of the card, and I just kinda coasted and waited to see if anybody else was doing anything, and then I was gonna react off that, and I
So
just was lone speed, I guess, all the way through.
did you? So did you? And is that your first entry into today's Oaklawn contest, or is
Yeah,
it your
yeah.
second? Okay.
It was the first one. I played, the Oaklawn one yesterday. My pick of the day won yesterday. Unfortunately, it got pounded from this is embarrassing, 12 to 1 morning line, which was a bad morning line, all the way
Right.
down to 9 to 5
Mm.
in the last race. American Band. I mean, I don't listen. Anybody that follows Oaklawn racing, would know the name American Band, and for that horse to be 12 to 1 morning line is kind of a mystery. Maybe the odds maker was trying to cash a cash a ticket.
Well, look at this. The third place finisher in your contest that you won last night ended with a bankroll of $23.49, down from the original bankroll of $80.
You
He
got to be
finished
shitting.
third place, and that gets him a seat.
You have to be shitting me.
No, because there were 17 entries. It's one per five. That means they gave away three. And that means, yeah. I mean, the third place finisher lost, 2/3 of his bankroll, and still wins a $400 entry today.
Okay, now this is intriguing. So what I'm doing,
And yeah, as I just said, we've got 53 entries today, plus whoever buys in. So, I don't know how many that will be. But as I've said before, I think Twin Spires is doing really good things on the contest front.
all right, so I'm tournaments. Now when you go and look at here, let me share the screen real quick. We could show people this. So when you look at the here, hide this. Where do you go to see those standings?
You want to see? You mean from yesterday? Click on ended right there. Kind of below the big headline banner. It says active and ended.
Oh, and then you hit results. Aha. So you're
Yeah,
trying to tell me somebody collected a seat. Oh,
yeah. The guy in third
our
place.
guy Jeff got in.
No, yeah, Jeff got in, but yeah.
Yeah, good. So this guy, Jim, okay, so Jim got in because they gave out 3 seats with $23.
Yeah, and I tell you, while you're reviewing that, a little bit of not emergency. My stepson is heading back to college today, several hours earlier than I'd planned. I need 2 minutes to go say goodbye to him,
No,
and
go
then
ahead. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and I'll try and get Marco on the phone.
Yes.
Dylan Donnelly sitting here in the duck blind, listening to you handsome devils. Appreciate it, Dylan. Hey, I got your text on that horse that you like. I do like it as well. It just wasn't my top pick. It was my second pick. And now, since you like it, I'm wondering if I flip flop that. That's going to be open for discussion when we look at the 6th race today. So that's, and I got kind of a boring pick in there anyway, an Asmussen runner. Send us some photos of those birds. For those of you that don't know, Dylan Donnelly is the world's best bird killer. This guy, he has sent us photos of mounds of ducks. Now it's legal. He's got the legal amount of ducks killed. But and they're piled up. I want to eat some duck. I've never had it. Maybe once. Or was that goose? I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyway.
So,
So
Steve,
anyway, Dylan's on and he's watching us from the duck blind, and I was just telling our listeners and our watchers that this guy is the world's best bird killer I've ever seen.
he kills rare. Like I've been in his office, his home office. Okay, he's got there are numerous dead birds on the walls of his office,
Right.
including one. He said this one's got extreme. I forget what kind of bird or duck or whatever the hell it was, but
Yeah.
it's got markings on its wings and around its neck that are so rare. He's like, I've never seen this marking combination on any bird before. And I'm like, so it was so rare you had to kill it. Like, I mean, if you know what I mean.
He said it was so rare he had to kill it. You know, this is a funny story because it segues into what I was about to say. I go down to Arkansas and I hike in like the Ozark Mountains every year, and in Arkansas, around the White River, but even towards Petit Jean and the Ozarks, there's a rare woodpecker that is everybody's looking for. It's called the ivory-billed woodpecker.
Yeah, no one see. I'm well aware of the ivory-billed. No one's seen it in like over 100 years. Yeah,
they think it's extinct, but there have been sightings in Arkansas, and National Geographic's giving out $100,000 if you can capture a video of it, and it's confirmed that it's a ivory-billed woodpecker. Well, if I brought Dylan with me, he'd shoot the fucking thing.
Yes, of course he would. And then on another side note, I just went and said bye to my stepson, who's going back to finish his freshman year in college. I just got this book. It's called College Girl Missing. Okay, and it's a story that I don't know how closely you follow current events, Steve-O, but I follow them
closely.
Yeah, somewhat closely, especially like missing kids who disappear, whatever, just famous missing people's cases. And there's this girl named Lauren Spearer who disappeared from
okay.
Indiana University back in 2011, and they never found her. And there's all kinds of like differing stories about her. Anyway, if you like to read books about things other than horse racing, give this book a try. I'm only a few chapters into it, but it's really good. It offers you a lot of insight. So I had to go tell my stepson. I was like, look, you're going back to college. Don't do anything stupid. All right. Don't, just be careful and use your brain.
Well, I remember you busted up the alcohol party. That was good. You're a good parent. Yeah, there's a lot of parents out there. They'd be drinking with their kids today. It's crazy.
I know. There's some parents like that in the community that I live in, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's not good. All right.
So no word from Marco.
I texted him. He sounded pretty rough when I talked to him. I'm sure he's going to get on. He has the link. What we'll do is we'll dive into the card, and if he gets on, he gets on. So I have his picks. I already have his picks. So
while you're doing that, I'm gonna so you're gonna go through your race by race plays, I guess.
Yeah.
And then what I'm gonna do is follow along and see if you can entice me to play something.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so we'll look at the first race. The first race is this is a maiden special weight. Now these were 2. Now they are 3. So that's what we're looking at here. These are hopefuls for the stakes program later on. Me and Marco both like the 10. It was his backup. 10 ended up being my top pick.
And this is in which race, Steve? Race 1 today?
Yeah. Do I have the race card up?
No, you don't, because there are not 10 horses in that race.
That's because that's race 2 I put up. Race 1, I like the 4 and the 5, and Marco likes the 5 as his top pick. Okay, we're off to a great start here.
So it's a 3-year-old maiden special weight at a mile on the dirt, and you're on the 4, Hypnus.
I'm going to take our buddy Parker doesn't like Le Peru, so take this one with a grain of salt. But
Dream Tree, I mean, that dam is a grade 1 winner, multiple grade.
I was just going to get into that. Precocious, brood mare here, multiple stakes winner, and it spit out one sibling that is trying to find its way. It's now well, it's now a 4-year-old. It got a late start. It looked like as a 3-year-old. Well, it did start in April and then had some time off. So we'll see what happens with that sibling. It's a Curlin. I would imagine try that one a little bit longer on dirt. Maybe that one will perk up, but this is the second full. And, coming in from fairgrounds, I don't have any local drills on this one, but I just love the breeding of this horse or this colt.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to give it a chance in a field that, the favorite's going to be the Warden off of that effort from Churchill. That was a a 1 turn mile. We're going a 2 turn short stretch here today. Should be the favorite off of that race. Should carry its speed a long way, but this horse is going to be less. It's going to be odds on or less. And I want to try and beat it. It is difficult to, to win 2 turns first out. So I'll give you that. But this outside of the favorite, there's not a lot in here that's like, holy shit. You better watch out for this one. You better watch out for that one. The 8 looked a little bit interesting for Hartman just off of the work pattern. But I went with the Blue Blood in here, who looks pretty formidable off the breeding. Marco looks like he joined in. Good morning, Marco. We're in the first race. How you feeling? Can you hear
Tired.
us?
I was installing.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was installing appliances. At 3 in the morning.
Oh, I thought you were playing blackjack till 3 in the morning. All right, so you were installing appliances. I heard you wrong. All right, so you got your coffee. Everything's good?
Yep.
No? Wait.
We are good.
Marco's on a delay. When Marco said no, that was in response to you saying, I thought you were playing blackjack until 3 in the morning. And then you thought you would already asked your next question about coffee. Because Marco heard your question probably 3 or 4 seconds after you asked it. So either there's a delay or Marco is very, very slow this morning.
Are we in real time, Marco?
Are we?
Okay, you hear me? Good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so in the first race, I'll let you get your bearings there. Listen, the favorite's going to be very tough. I don't want to play the favorite at all, just because it's going 2 turns here, and a lot of these they're all going 2 turns, but it's going to be 3 to 5. I want to try and beat it with a Blue Blood. I got the McPeak runner with a nice breeding line there and a decent work pattern out at Fairgrounds shipping in. You landed on the 5.
The other McPeak runner.
Okay, so you're with the other one, just with a little bit of recency on a muddy track at Aqueduct.
Yeah, he also had a little trip trouble there, trying to squeeze through the rail and got knocked around, and then got squeezed out, and he had to back up. I thought he was running pretty good before that, and second time out, adding the Lasix with one of the better jockeys, working out good. Why can't this colt win?
Well, they're all adding Lasix, 2 to 3 is.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying. So this horse has just enough chance as any horse in here.
All right, real quick, let me just tight on the rail.
All set.
Did it happen in the stretch?
Yeah, it was in the stretch.
All right, what number are we here? We're number 7. Let's see what happened here. I fast forwarded it a little bit. I see you on the rail. Looks like you're advancing nicely. 3/8 pole. Here you go. I don't see any issues. And it looks like. Oh, okay. You got bumped there. Totally out of it. Okay, yeah. There's a lot to look at there. That definitely compromised any chance you had, and now you're going to just kind of wrap up and finish up from here. Okay.
Yeah, he pretty much finished right there. He just.
Yeah, I see that. Well, that was significant. So, okay, I got you. You got a little bit of recency on you. You're stretching out a little bit. You got Esquivel, who you like a lot. I got Le Peru, who, used to ride good, and maybe he can start riding good again. So those are the 2 horses that we're on. Justin, I don't know if you had any input on this race. It's a maiden race to start out the card.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it pretty closely. I think with the number of first-time starters and the question marks, there wasn't anything that jumped out at me and made me think I should play this horse. I mean, one horse I'm curious about would be the 6, Lord Baranoff. Was bet to 7-2 on debut for maiden 50, going 2 turns, dropped into maiden 30, claimed, and now brought back up to maiden special weight. Blinkers on, first Lasix because it's now a 3-year-old. I mean, I'm a little bit I'm not interested enough to bet and find out, but this is a horse that I think I would probably, if I was forced against my will to bet this race, which I will not be doing, I would probably find a way to include the 6.
Okay. No, duly noted. I got you. They're going to try and relax it maybe a little bit today, with the hood coming off. So let's see. And I love, we love Rocco knows how to scrub on a horse really good. If he reminds me of, he's like Jimmy Graham. He's like the melatonin Jimmy Graham, the way he rides. It's from Belize. Great guy. Very religious too. All right. Let's go to race 2. Race 2 is the one where I liked the 10. It's a 10,000 claiming event going 3/4. This is for 4-year-olds and up. And Marco, I'll let you start off. You also like the 10, but it's your backup. You landed on the 9 on the outside.
Yeah, I landed on the favorite. That last drill really popped out at me.
Okay.
And you got the connections of Garcia, and Vasquez is a pretty good rider. So dropping down to 10,000 from 20 from Churchill. Most of these horses have been running pretty well coming from Churchill, rather than running from Prairie Meadows and like Thistledown and things like that. This one will most likely be your more post-time favorite, and I think is going to be the winner of this race. This will be my single in the early pick 5.
There's our buddy Gennaro Garcia. And by the way, I did pick one of his horses yesterday that did lose again. Justin, I don't know if you know the inside story on this trainer. He's won 5 of 14 starts. I haven't picked one of his winners. I've picked about 5 of his losers.
Wow, that's
right.
Bad luck. We have the favorite is coming off a voided claim. Is there any way to find out why a claim is voided? Do we know that? Or
there is a way. Emily has all that stuff. Optics, I think, has all that information, doesn't it?
I don't know. I only use about a third of what Optics has available. I think you might have to pay for notes, which I don't.
You gotta pay for the extra stuff, and she gets like horses that were entered and scratched, and it all comes up, and it's interesting stuff. But it was voided. Marco noted, the thing came back and worked 47 and change. It's got to be doing somewhat good. That was October 30th, the day before Halloween. I landed on the 10 Derby date in the outside. Cipriano Contreras, good trainer. There's your guy Esquivel, Marco.
Yeah,
I played this horse last time, and it could be all negative. It's a 9-year-old just going sour, but eventually he's going to find a spot here. My last notes from last time was never run this cheap. CC spots his horses correctly. Well, he's doing a double drop again. And at Oaklawn, Justin, I think the cheapest purse is 32,000, which is probably this race. Let me look. 33,000. So that's the cheapest purse at Oaklawn. So you can go down the ladder a little bit more over there for these cheaper claimers, because you're going to be running for allowance purses at some of the middle tracks in the country outside of, New York, California, and Kentucky. Allowance race at Hawthorne, for instance, is 33,000. So this is a good spot. Derby date wasn't a muddy track on the rail last time. There's a lot of scratches from the 3-hole, and got away from that gate slow. And I'm hoping it just breaks a little cleaner, finds a spot on the outside, tucks in somewhere, it makes a run. It doesn't win often, but those were against, optional claiming 40 non-winners of 2 and the last one was in a decently salty 20 here at Oaklawn. So hopefully the double drop down is the winning ticket at 12-1. Now's the time to play him. If he doesn't win here, you fade him forever. He'll probably be retired and be a riding horse.
This is definitely a big class relief today.
So those are the horses that we kind of like there. Let's dive into anything to add, Justin, or do you want to move on to the next race?
Yeah, 10 claimers on the dirt, just not my jam.
Okay, race 3. Race 3 is a 3-year-old maiden. These were 2, now they're 3, 50,000. And look at that purse, $60,000 for a maiden 50. Beautiful. I go all the way to the outside here on the 12. Miracle on Central. It's a Chris Hartman runner. It ran against the aforementioned Donut God in debut, 5 panels in the slop at Churchill Downs. And this race, El Prestigio came back, a horse that I picked, and lost by a headwind in 81. And then, of course, Donut God won a stake at Tampa. This just wasn't the spot for this horse. Well, they ran it in a debut race, and it was just too tough of a spot. That's where I'm getting at 5 panels. The last race was just a complete disaster. Cutting back and dropping. Those maiden specials at Churchill are no joke. You can tell by the purse structure there or size. So we're cutting back a little bit here. We're dropping. I like being out there than tangled up on the inside like it was in his debut. I think the light comes on here for a really good racing outfit. Marco, you landed on the 9, who I also like. It's my backup selection, Montana Cafe. I love the work tab. Tell us a little bit else what you like about it.
There's not a whole lot here being a first-time starter. However, Santana is either riding just lights out, or he's just getting on very good animals. Whatever it is, he's riding Montana Cafe today for a very capable barn. And this guy has a sibling that has 3 wins and won 370,000. Looks like in Japan.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that. Okay, I looked at this last night and I just didn't even pay attention because there's no information. But I should have noticed that it was number 1 horse on the so-called leaderboard here for earnings. And you're right, $370,000. So
that and then a lot of these other runners haven't. I looked through them; they didn't have the sibling factor. So with that,
well, you know what, Marco, real quick. Yeah, a test.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. A test won its only dirt race by 7. It did come off the turf, but something.
And the other one, the other sibling. I'm taking a stab, but I think there's a lot of positive things with this horse here for a first timer, and I didn't like a whole lot of other runners in here. There's second time starters. There's a couple firsters.
Does anybody want to? Yeah. Does anybody want to play the Brad Cox runner at 2-1? I mean,
or what about this? What about this Asmussen first time starter? $400,000 auction purchase by a $125,000 sire. Now they're debuting for $50,000.
Yeah, tax write-off. It's not really burning up the morning oil. Look at that last work on the 31st out of the gate. That's pretty freaking slow. The work on the 30th was okay.
Look who's riding. That's my big thing. The Asmussen children are just not. They're not doing it for me.
Eric, is that Eric Asmussen?
Yeah, he's the younger bug.
Until they start this one turf.
Yeah, until they start winning more races and finishing races better, I'm fading the Asmussen jockeys. I've been doing it all year because I've been burned too many times.
It's been working though, and they're in your favor doing that.
Yeah.
He's not winning races. Asmussen's off to a slow start. He's historically the leading trainer at Oaklawn. He gets massive volume of starts. Right now, our guy Abel, Rodriguez Ramirez, or Roberg's understudy. I always forget the hyphenated last name, but he's a leading trainer right now.
Yeah, he's doing
Limited
that.
starts.
So I'm taking a stab. 15-1 first timer.
All right, so again, not much to look at here. You're going to look at bloodlines. You're going to look at some works. Good note there, Marco, on the Japanese sibling there that's dominating it. I completely missed that. This horse is working well at 15-1 and a maiden claiming 50. I've seen much worse. I mean, this is a good pick. I like it. I picked it second. I'm just going to go with the horse that I think should perk up and wake up a lot today with Miracle on Central. With the Hartman barn and Rafael Bejarano on the irons. There's no donut god in here, and we'll see what happens.
I would say before you put your wagers in here, just give a glance to the 6-horse double ride. The Little Red Domi, who was the winner of the 6's last race, or 2 back rather, came back to win next out. There was another next out winner in there. This is Norm McKnight first off the claim. Horse's first time on dirt. The dam does not have any data, offspring data for running on the dirt. But this is one that, who knows? What if this one wakes up? What if this one wanted to be on dirt all along?
I have picked some McKnight runners, and I picked his only winner at the meet and 5 starts. He knows which ones can run on dirt and which ones can't when he brings them here. So I do think this horse is somewhat live, especially underneath 100%. All right, let's move on to the next race. It is race 4. It's a 30,000 claiming event going also 6 furlongs and a $62,000 pot. Gotta love the purses here. I landed on number 6, who is the favorite. Brighter Days Ahead, claimed from Churchill into the John Ortiz barn. It just, to me, it looks like it might be the controlling speed in here, and that's where I landed. I just felt like it's just going to have things its own way. And Ortiz, I don't like horses getting claimed out of the Asmussen barn, but if Ortiz has success here at Oaklawn and he's good with claimers, I know he's 2 for 27 right now, but he'll start winning a few races, and he's got some pretty precocious horses in the barn. This looks like a sneaky claim, and he's spotting it in a good spot. And 25 and 30, that's pretty much the same. It's, 25 at Churchill, 30 here. You could go which way you want to go. It's pretty much a lateral move. You're splitting hairs.
No, the horse has been claimed 4 of the last 5 times it's run.
It's been claimed a lot. It's won with all the new barns, wherever it goes. And, it's just pace, though. Pace makes the race. And I think we're going to just get out and go and never look back. Marco, you have the 2 down on the inside here, who is higher standard, and we're getting a big price here.
Big price and a big class drop from 62.5 to 30. And this guy likes the Oaklawn track. 2 starts, got a win in a second. I think a class drop and a good trip is going to help this guy a lot. He's got some back numbers that should be able to definitely, run with this field and beat this field.
Right.
15-1. I don't. That's way too good to pass up.
No, I'm with you. I looked at this horse for a long time. It's probably it would be, I guess you could say, my 3rd pick. It's second off that little layoff, not a huge layoff, but it was turf to dirt, and we haven't seen it back on dirt since that last race from June. It does have some backlash. The race at Oaklawn last year, very formidable. If it can run that race, it'll absolutely crush today. Yeah, it's just the question: is this horse the same? And that's why we're handicappers. You're saying yes. It's 15-1. The price is there, and I like the angle, 100%.
And I do like Payne. I mean, I've always liked that horse.
But I like Payne too, but go ahead.
He's just old.
Well, gosh, I just mentioned. Look, I'm picking a Asmussen claimed horse, but there's certain trainers like, okay, this trainer claimed this horse off Asmussen. Do I think he'll improve it or at least keep it together the same way? Okay, I'm saying yes. I don't know if Eric Foster is going to do the same with Payne.
You're right.
So you got Christian Torres in the irons, though. So that's a good sign. The price is a little bit too short for me to come back to Payne. I mean, we were both on Payne last year. Remember last year, February 9th? We were on him that day. He went off at 15-1.
Yep. Remember.
We blew up the social media with that one. But yeah, I'm going to land on the 6. The 7, California Speed, is another one I'd watch out for with Sean Williams. He won another race yesterday. Harry Hernandez, a jockey that we respect a lot, is in the irons. We'll see if it could dig down deep and run one of its better races today. Justin, do you have anything else to add in here or no?
I would say that, in my opinion, Emily Gullickson does not like it when I say Optics loves a horse or hates a horse.
I know.
But I think the plot on your 6 horse, Steve-O, is interesting. And I think the 7 that you just mentioned is very interesting on both Optics and on Ragozin. Right. The Ragozin numbers, if you throw out the last one for the 7, which, why are you throwing it out? I mean, I get that. But, before, going back the last several starts has some pretty quick numbers. The 6, your 6, also some quick ones. If you toss out the last one, in other words, capable of running certainly fast enough to win this race. Both the 6 and the 7 are. I think they both make a ton of sense. And then, depending on your interpretation of Optics and how you like to lose it, I think the 8 is interesting at a price. In my opinion, plots very well on Optics.
Does Optics have a black? Does Optics have a large square for me on the upper left quadrant?
No, you're a circle, but you're not a huge circle. So,
okay.
Judging by what my interpretation of Optics, you're going to be right there on the front early and likely, on the front turning for home after a not grueling pace. And then here come, like the 7, the 8, and the 11, maybe the 4. And are they going to get you or not? If we dig into this 8 a little bit, Samurai Prince looks like off since August. On Ragozin, I'm trying to scroll. Here we go. On Ragozin, the horse fits. The horse has 5 wins at the distance. I don't know the trainer, but Optics and Ragozin both seem to suggest that the horses could be competitive.
All right.
Well, I was looking at Samurai Prince as well. 2 things threw me off this horse: the layoff and the trainer. So I had to not look at.
I didn't want to say anything negative.
No, it's just it's. Remember last year he was like 0 for 70 before he won.
Well, but listen, this horse did run last year off a long layoff at Oaklawn in the mud and ran 2nd of 9.
Yeah, but Maker was a trainer.
Okay.
I don't know. Hey, listen, no, it's okay. Listen, this horse, it's 15-1. So yes, you can't poo-poo a horse that looks decent, especially on Optics or the rags. I don't know. It looks decent on the rag too. I mean,
decent enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So 15-1. I mean, shit, that's the equalizer. you know.
Well, yeah. What we do know is that this race is probably going to be very competitive, and who
Yeah, and
knows who's going to win this?
very competitive, and I'm going with a 3-1 shot. But we'll see. I think I'll be at the lead going into the turn from the 3/8 to the quarter pole, and hopefully I can extend, and we'll see what happens. All right, race 5 will close out the early pick 5. It is a maiden special weight, and I believe this is for Archie breds. Yes, it is. And Marco, I'm going to let you start off because I wrote your numbers down. I already know who you picked. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't. Okay,
I did not.
now you're surprising me.
Okay,
I thought 100% you were going to be all over
Burlsworth,
but you are going to the inside.
Going to the rail.
$2 Eddie. Now, if you remember when we had Greg Lewis on, who's leading the NAC Tour, that Saturday race card last week got wiped out by rain. He did pick this horse in that race, and it had a better post, I thought. But from the one hole, I was kind of like, I don't know. But tell us what you like about it.
Well, I also like that horse. I didn't pick it that day, but I did like it. And just getting when it got washed off the slop, he just came back and had a nice drill to tighten him up on New Year's Eve. And I was just looking at them both. He might be the one that we have to try to chase down. Burlsworth, I do like him, and I do have him in second here. Ran in some tough races. But I just had to throw him in second, plus 3-1. 5-1 was a little bit better, not much, and I think Burlsworth is going to be bet down also.
Yeah,
I don't know if people know the backstory on that. You know, the local guys will. So
yeah, the Burlsworth, that was a 6.5 furlong sprint in open company last time. And that was off the layoff. So Burlsworth is going to be tough today. I mean, this is a different, if you just look at the race that it exited, there was a next out winner with an 85 buyer speed figure in there. And then the winner that day, Top Gun Rocket, all 80s. I mean, this, that was just a super tough field. Open company. Now you're back with Arkansas breds. The 8's going to be tough. However, I'm going back to the 4, Devil's Fork. Lots of stuff here to like about Devil's Fork. John Ortiz had this horse in some, the same level here last year. Obviously, it was immature horse from 2 to 3, couple of starts, lots of problems in there. He did cut the horse, gave it some time off, has some beautiful works. There's a work I want everybody to see. It was very unusual. Worked with 2 other stablemates. And let me pull it up here if you guys can see this. It breaks from the rail here.
Which date on the work tab is this?
This is 2 back.
December 22nd. Okay.
Yeah, this is 2 back. It breaks from the rail with 2 other stablemates, but it breaks slow. You can see it there. It's the gray.
The gray, yep.
Now it's going to follow the 2 other stablemates. By the way, Castle Gap came back and ran 3rd in the maiden special weight. And Yes Ma'am also ran a decent race in a maiden special weight. So, but you can see he, broke from the rail. I don't know if this was by design or if it just broke slow out of there. But you can see he's just kind of gathering himself here. Now he's going to time the same. They time these horses out of the gate for a half mile, so they're going to probably end the work at the top of the stretch or something. But you could watch how he catches up to him for the work and gets the same time, even though he had to do more. And he also just finishes up way stronger.
And you said, I'm sorry, the other 2 that he just blew by, What do we know
Yeah.
about those two horses?
Castle Gap came back and ran third in a maiden special weight. And Yes Ma'am also ran, if I remember, a decent race. But look at how he finishes up here against those two.
Are
And by the way,
those two being pushed?
No, the work. Well, they're all working a half mile, Justin. So
Okay.
they're all working a half mile. He worked the same time as them for a half mile. Point being is, he just galloped out way better.
Yeah. So
Castle Gap came back and ran third in a maiden special weight, an open company maiden special weight.
So Marco, I called Steve-O last night to say I really liked a horse in the 5th. And without even me saying anything, he goes, "Oh, I'm all over Devil's Fork in there." And that's the horse that I'm on. And Steve and I have already talked about this. You mentioned it's first gelding, first Lasix, because you're now 3 years, or it's 4-year-old, but it's still first Lasix. So on the career debut, I couldn't get a head-on replay. Right. I don't know if that's a formulator thing or what, but really ran on strongly at the end and galloped out really well. And then in start number 2, last January 26th, was kind of, back early and was making progress through that. Like I would say up until about the entrance to the far turn, and ran up on traffic and sort of stalled and then never really ran back on. But it was one you could forgive. And then been in training since the summer at Ellis. And as you guys know, I don't play a lot of Oaklawn, but it's like, well, they could run in a maiden special weight there if it was ready, or they could wait and run here for the 110,000.
Right.
And I've heard of that happening before. In fact, I've played horses that ran at Churchill in the fall, and it's like, maybe the horse wasn't really being pushed, and then 10-1 on the morning line at Oaklawn, and then wins at 7-2 because everybody knows the horse is a runner, was waiting for Oaklawn. I wonder if maybe this could be one of those horses. Having said that, both Ragozin and Optics would suggest that this is a 2-horse race between the 1 and the 8. And the question is, the 1 will be clear late. Can the 8 run down the 1? Can Burlsworth run down $2 Eddie? And that's going to be the story of the final furlong of this race. With maybe the 7 taking a step forward and closing. But I'm very interested in this 4 at a price. And because there's going to be 50 people or more in the contest that I'm in, I'm very likely looking at an all-in play on Devil's Fork.
Yeah, I like that, Justin. Here's the thing. We're going to talk the rags on maiden races. It's not going to take into account that, hey, this horse is a different horse today than it was back then. It's not going to take into account how more mature it is now. They cut the horse. It's training well. We just watched one of its replays. It just was, there's other works too. The work on December 1st. This thing's been, you already mentioned the work pattern from Kentucky. Also, that race where it just was a mess mentally. I mean, it ran against Hall and Ice, who is a stakes winner at Gulfstream, Arkansas bred, that won a stake at Gulfstream, and it just came back and crushed here on December 22nd, and was a very good horse last year in the Arkansas bred stakes. Won an open company race here, other than last year. So, and the rest of that field is just pretty good too. So, including Burlsworth, who was in there, but
yeah. And the rest of this field, doesn't look.
Yeah, it's you got to be 2 other horses. Is this horse ready to make that step up? I say this horse runs a huge race today, and 10-1. Let's see if we can get it. That's my attitude.
Yeah, I mean, and then also God's Country is also a little bit interesting. I mean, kind of split, pretty much split the field in the Rainbow Stakes last April, right, while still a maiden. Has caught some muddy tracks or some off tracks. Is probably going to run really well too. I mean, I think the 4's got to beat those 3 horses, the 1, the 7, and the 8.
Right.
But you're betting on the improvement with age. Been off for almost a year, and the gelding, the Lasix, etc.
Duly
Yeah,
noted. Well,
God's country to me seems like he just hangs every race.
yeah, we've been on this horse a few times last year. Kind of disappointed. We thought we were going to make a move, and yeah, I think I bet him there on New Year's Day last year. I don't know.
He runs good, and all of a sudden, when it's time to pass up the leader, he just don't want to.
He fits. You know, he can grab a piece of this. There's
Definitely.
at 4-1, and with the number of starts and everything else, I know he could be a little bit quicker as a 4-year-old. I would be surprised if he won this race.
Put him in the exotics, though. You know.
All right, so Marco's on $2 Eddie. We think Burlsworth's going to run well, and Devil's Fork is the question mark, the up and coming unknown. I think this is a different horse today. All right, that closes out the early pick 5. Man, can I get a quick intermission for a cup of coffee? Or no?
You didn't. I'm surprised you didn't come prepared with your cup and saucer like you.
You know what? I drank it all, and I drank it all. Put it that way. So let me.
Well, I'll go get a refill myself.
Yeah, let me get a refill. Let's come back.
Well, then while doing that, I'll stay on and I'll plug my new Patreon.
Yeah. Do that. Plug it up.
Your new what?
Marco, you don't know about the new home of Lone Speed Patreon? You've got to know this.
What the hell is Patreon?
Oh, for God's sake. Let me start from the beginning. Patreon, spelled Patreon, is a platform for content creators to offer whatever it is they're creating to viewers, to consumers. So if you go to patreon.com/lonespeed, LONESPEED, that is the new home of Lone Speed. I know you're familiar with Lone Speed. We had the Lone Speed group text for a number of months, and it went really well. And I want to kind of go in a different direction, so we all sort of branched out in our own directions. We have a number. It's only been up on the air for about 4 or 5 days now. We've got a lot of people that are online with us, joining the conversation, part of the community. It's a great place for handicappers, horse players to gather and compare ideas, talk about wagering strategy, etc. Check it out. It's free to join. There's a membership level where you can consume exclusive content like interviews and other wagering, handicapping information that we're offering. But check it out.
Yeah, I'm going to Patreon.
Patreon.com/Lone Speed.
Yeah, me, Justin, and Rich had a little group together, and we kind of are offering our own content.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cool. I'm in Justin's group. Justin's in my group. I give out exclusive top plays from Oaklawn. I give, me and Marco are picking every race for the Oaklawn card every day, but it doesn't mean we're betting every race. I give out my top picks plus other family horses that we have running. By the way, I already mentioned Lamplighter Jack running today that I don't expect him to win, but just want him to close the race out good. But for those of you that want to join, do you have a code, by the way? That you something that I could share just for your
just the URL. It's lonespeed.com/Patreon. You see my Twitter handle at Justin Do. There's a link to the Patreon on my Twitter, so it's easy to find. No, I don't have a QR code or a link just yet. I'm not that advanced, but I will be one day.
Okay, so this is actually that's the wrong one. So this is where you guys can join my group if you have a camera on your phone. Just click on that. It's a similar thing to Justin's Patreon, and it's it's fun time. So go over there and click on that. All right. So if you Justin, let's see. I do have your Twitter.
It's underneath my name there. At Justin Do. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
there's the Twitter. At Justin Do. It's just the first name and last name, just like mine. So if you need to get a hold of us, just DM us and we'll get you in the group.
Best way to do it.
All right, let's move on to the late pick 5. We have some stakes action. We have the Smarty Jones stakes. We had what's the filly race today? I already forgot.
The
I forget what it-
Mockingbird.
The Mockingbird, the race that American Band won last year. Who, Mark? I don't know if you caught the beginning of the show. I couldn't believe American Band had a 12-1 morning line yesterday. That was my lock of the day that I gave out on my little private group there. Unfortunately, it went from 12-1 to 9-5. But
Yeah, we knew that was happening. I didn't know it was going to be 9-5. I was thinking 7-2, but
yeah, I was hoping. I was thinking 4-1, 7-2 as well. But yeah, 9-5 kind of. It was that obvious, maybe. I don't know. All right, race 6 is starting in the new pick 5. Let me pull that up. Here we go. It is a other than for $130,000. We're going the short stretch of the mile 2-turn race, 4-year-olds and up. And this was an interesting race because my backup is a horse that our friend Dylan Donnelly texted me and said he liked today. So when Dylan speaks, you listen. It's 20-1. It's called Zatara. So I did like it too with the blinkers and had some trouble last time, I noticed. And I was watching some of the replays and might hug the rail and do some damage there. I ended up on Silver Heist, more of a boring pick, but it's 10-1. It's Asmussen who's been struggling. Marco, your buddy Eric Asmussen is in the irons.
good luck.
Listen, yeah, I know. I getting a little bit of weight. I like getting back at Oaklawn. The race last time it ran in a tougher condition. I know it's Indiana, but man, the winner in that race just crushed. I mean, Bishop's Bay is a pretty nice horse altogether. Stakes placed, and the race just looks uglier than it should, just because of the, Bishop's Bay was in there and just demolished the field, and it was just a good field overall. Midnight West came back and ran a bad race on synthetic in the dirt, but is on the synthetic, but is good on dirt. Excuse me. I just felt that was a really salty race. We're getting back to a other than. That was a optional claiming race. I don't know if that's a condition skipper. It looks like I got to read how the conditions are, but to run in that spot didn't make much sense. Anyway, getting back here with Asmussen, I'm just going to take a shot at 10-1, and he's cold now. Now's the time to maybe select some of the Asmussen runners when people are getting off, if that even makes sense. Marco, you're on the 10.
Gold Brick.
Gold Brick. Tell us about Gold Brick.
He hasn't done a lot wrong. He likes the mile distance. If it rains, I might feel a little bit better. He seems to like the off track, but I don't think it will. I like this trainer. Third off the layoff, he's going to be forwardly placed, which I like right now at Oaklawn. If you're not up and near there, the closers are just not getting there. I don't know if you noticed that, but they're just not finishing the way usually you see them. And a lot of these forwardly placed horses keep on running. And Calhoun is a heck of a trainer.
Yeah, Brett Calhoun's a good trainer. I see this one ran against our guy Frankie Carbone last year as a 3-year-old. Second start. Yeah, ran against Booth, by the way, in Nash in its debut.
This horse will be right there in the mix. And now you got a couple races under your belt late in the year. I think should be primed up. And December 21st, nice drill. 2 out of 136.
Oh, excuse me, hit the microphone. The 9 is your backup. I looked at this one a long time too. Bejarano second off the layoff. Ran a really nice race on a comebacker in a restricted maiden special weight. Was the favorite. Did not disappoint. Maybe the Lasix moved it up and it's got Lasix again. So that is another one that looks pretty good. And again, back to the rail. This was my backup, and Dylan sends me a thing saying, "Hey, I like this one today." I'm like, "Well, shit, that's my backup." Wondering if I should flip flop it, but I'll probably do maybe in the tournament I'll do an exacta box or something because we can bet exactas. Justin, did you have anything to add?
No, I did look at this race because in the contest, I'm required to have made a play, at least one play, no later than this race. And did Dylan say why he likes the one in here?
It's probably for the same reason I mentioned. He didn't say anything in particular. Maybe I shouldn't have gave that information out.
No,
everybody knows about it now. But yeah, he shot me a text. He's duck hunting.
Yeah,
but he's not playing the turn. But he just texted me, said he liked it, and I said, well, yeah, I like it too a little bit. I got it as my backup. It did have a little bit of trouble in that first turn last time. They're adding the hood. Maybe they're going to show a little bit more speed down there. This is the short stretch of a mile. If they can get position in that first turn, save ground or have the lead, and then blast home. Yeah, I mean, this horse absolutely can improve a little bit.
Blinkers on. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see where you're coming from.
The race 2 back at Keeneland, I mean, that was another race where, I mean, it's an optional claiming 125 non-2 life. Is that another? I mean, Woodcourt's in there. I mean, I don't know why you would run in that spot. Just you're skipping a condition, unless and it wasn't in for a tag. So that's the same thing with my pick. It's like, you know, why not just find a non-winners one? Maybe I don't know. But anyway, they both skipped the condition there and they got blasted against better horses. Now, a non-winners of one is not that hard, especially a non-winners of one that is not an optional claiming race. You know, these usually aren't that hard. This is a big purse, but you can usually get that A other than. It's the non-winners of two is where things get a little bit more difficult, especially if they got that optional claiming tag on there. So this is a much easier spot. And this one did have trouble last time. The debut, it didn't run that bad sprinting. So I mean, its other terrible race that it ran outside of the 1-2 back was in a stake in the Iowa Derby against Henro and just a touch. Was that Bill Mott's horse? Can't remember, but at 20-1, why not? Looks pretty good. I would include it on some doubles with Devil's Fork.
Oh man, that would be nice.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to race 7. This is the Mockingbird, and there's going to be a lot to be said about this race from all three of us. We're all three going to be on different horses. I do like Justin's pick a little bit. Marco, why don't you dive in and tell us about your 9 that you like here?
Chatter. Yeah, that last race looks pretty nice. Gate to wire, and he's going to be on the outside of these other speed horses, which is going to be the 7. Is the 4 to 5 favorite is the one that we're going to have to discourage. It's going to be a race to the wire. This horse is just going to get out there. There's no questioning on what pretty much a lot of these runners want to do. And I was trying to look for like more of a closer in this race, and there just really isn't one.
We'll see about that.
I mean, yeah, you got the 2 coming from the turf, but I mean, a lot of these horses just want to be. They just want to all be up there,
Mm-hmm.
And I know you. What are you on here? The 4? No, you're the 6.
No, I'm on the 6. Listen, this runner here came in as a 3-year-old during July, got its feet wet at Prairie Meadows, and then just kind of ran in that program there. It ran in the summer, July, August. It's been put on the shelf, for about 4 months or so. Going on 5. And I think, these young horses like this, they do grow up a lot from the summer into the winter. And I can't think of a horse that is working much better in this field than Battle Shipper. And Justin, me and you talked about the rag sheets last night. It ran one maybe decent race on the rag, but that was in the summer, and this thing has been just working lights out. I do have a drill that we can watch here. Let's see, boom. We are in the, where are we at? Here we go. Battle Shipper is the gray. And I like when you're working on the inside like that and you work good, because you got a horse bearing down on you and you can run between horses.
If you're showing the replay, Steve, we're not seeing it.
You're not seeing this right now? Oh, my
No.
bad. My bad. Hold on. Now you can see it. Right?
Yes. Which one's your horse?
The gray. That happened to me last time. I clicked on the button and it didn't go all the way through. This was a December 12th move. Well within itself. Giving it a couple of cracks.
I mean, to my untrained eye, it looks like it really, really got outworked there.
Yeah, it did get outworked by a much better runner.
Okay.
Yeah, stressing, ears are pinned back.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, believe me, and the subsequent works are all good too.
Steve-O, are you able to pull the workout for my horse, the 2 GW Girl? I'd like to see that.
I do have one. Let me pull it up. Let me see.
I hope it's the December 31st work.
Now, when you're doing the Oaklawn things here, they don't always have. Let me see if I can pull it up. What's the name of the horse?
GW's Girl.
Let me see.
So while you're looking, let me go into why I like this horse. One on debut, beat an odds-on favorite who, I'm not saying is a superstar, but really looked good, and then faced the boys in the Indian Summer at Keeneland, including Governor Sam, who almost won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint. And if you watch the final 1/8 of a mile of that Keeneland race, you will come away with the impression that this horse can close. I mean, she's really got a late kick. The question is, will she take to dirt? So this is not in company, unfortunately. Okay.
Yeah, this is her work here. 49 and change.
So it's the December 22nd work, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And then followed this up with a bullet work on New Year's Eve. 6th fastest of 137.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, so let's just I'll pretend like I know what I'm looking at here, and I could probably spot it if it was bad looking.
Yeah, you're nice. You're in hand here, just relaxed. You're by yourself, but the stick's in the back pocket.
Yeah, she looks like she wants to run.
And Marco, you made that point. You even corrected yourself. You're like, I don't know if there's any speed in here and blah blah blah. But
no closers. I said
closers. That's what I meant. Closers.
The two's your closer.
Yeah,
I was that horse.
Right.
Not running on dirt yet was a little concern, and that's why I didn't land on her.
So yeah, go ahead, Justin. Tell us a little bit about GW's Girl. That was a good work there, and it does look like it could be the closer.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much covered it. The debut, I watched both replays. The debut was impressive. The Keeneland, they threw her right up in against the Wolves. She faced the boys in the Indian Summer, finished 5th of 12, only beaten 2 lengths, gained ground in the stretch. behind Governor Sam. And there were others in there too. It's not just the winner that day. You also have Chasing Liberty, who came back to win a turf stakes race routing at Del Mar on the Breeders' Cup undercard. And then Floodlights also raced on Breeders' Cup undercard, got a trip of death, and then came back and ran in a classy race at Turfway, finished second of 12. So, can we call the Keeneland race a key race just yet? I don't know. But Governor Sam is certainly no joke. I played Governor Sam in the Breeders' Cup, didn't win, but got a good price. Paco may have moved just a little bit too early in there. Governor Sam is a serious, serious turf sprinter, and GW's girl was right there with him. Now she's back in against her own sex. And, the 7-horse, Optics has it as a very strong Q1 square. Ragozin, in my opinion, does not scream run to the windows and bet the 7. Plus, you have the fact that these are now newly turned 3-year-olds, and GW's girl is getting dirt for the first time. The breeding, by Munnings, who is 14% with turf sprinters, 18% with dirt sprinters. So that would kind of, I think, favor the dirt. The dam Essence of, I think that's Audra or Audrey. Good with first-time starters. She's got 2 winners, first time out from 4. So good win early pedigree. As a dam of dirt sprinters, listen to this: 34% winners, 8 winners from 23 starts. However, we're not exactly talking with the upper echelon of the sport. We've got some low-level claimers in the mix there. We've got a half sibling that won first time out sprinting on the Gulfstream dirt, going 5.5 for maiden 50,000, and then never won again after that. So again, kind of some mixed signals looking at the half siblings, but there's every reason to believe that GW's girl should handle the dirt in her first effort, and the workouts, I think, are also consistent with that. I'm very hopeful that we'll get 6-1. I plan on playing her in a contest, and hopefully it works out.
I like it. Yeah, everything makes sense. The favorite is one that we got to try and beat. It's super fast early. We'll see if who's going to go with it. How's it going to respond to that? We got Pratt, who ships in and it's on a few mounts today, so it's not going to win them all.
No. And with that, guys, I do have to run. I'm going to be eagerly anticipating your picks for the entire card, because I'm going to be following along for the contest. So thanks for having me on for the first few races here. And, I'll see your picks for the remainder of the card when you guys release them a little bit later on.
Love it, Justin. Good luck in the contest. I'll see you on the leaderboard.
Thanks,
all right,
boys.
Justin. Good
See
luck.
you guys.
All right, later. That was good. Justin joining in. And interesting picks here for the Mockingbird. I do want to note Battle Shipper did come back too and worked a bullet 48 flat, half mile. I like that the 6 is getting off the rail, as mentioned in the workout, as opposed to being pinned down there on the rail. And we'll see what happens. What I don't want is breaking sharp, still getting the rail with the 7 bearing down on me. I would like to see this. The 7's the fastest. 7 should have the front. Maybe the 8 will break fast as well with it. But duly noted on the 2 for Justin. If this one can move to the dirt, it looked like it worked well there. Maybe it can relax and do something. All right, so that's the Mockingbird. Let's go to race 8. Race 8 is an allowance race, 6 panels. A other than 130,000. It's 6 furlongs. I think did you like the one? Yeah, we both like the same horses, but we got them flip-flopped. So, Attache, is that how you say that?
Well, sounds good to me.
All right. Tell us what you like about Attache.
Yeah. Atash. Well, I like for the fact that it's got 5 wins and 14 starts for starters. Definitely on his way to a good racehorse career. You got Hartman. You got the bug on it. Basone.
I call him, yeah, it's Bason,
Yeah.
Bason, yeah.
So
And a lot of the locals were saying bacon, but
yeah. Well, this one's still looking for his first level allowance win. However, has run a second, a third, you know, at this level at Churchill. So, and when I was looking at the rest of the field, there wasn't a lot of horses that I thought can run with this one. A little bit weaker. Tried some of the allowance races, but just haven't fared as well. So I'm going to see if I could just save some ground, just sit right off the pace and make a nice stretch run. That's what I'm looking for. Some front runners to get out.
The horse has shown the ability to rate a little bit. It's close to the pace, but it rates off and has drawn off. The last race was good, and that's probably the technique you're going to have to. That's the trip you're going to probably need. There is some speed in here, and that's why I like Gun Flash. I was way wide last time and made a furious rally. Just a terrible trip on replay. Wide throughout, just broke out of the 9 of 9, was wide first turn, was wide on the backstretch, swung way wide in the lane. So not one of Harry's best races, but I think he's going to get a handle on this runner today. I had some trip notes on this horse last year. Maybe it creates its own problems, but if he can get a good spot, Harry's ridden this horse the last 2 times, and both of them were winning races. One, and the other one just came too late and galloped out strong. So I'm hoping that Gun Flash can, he's over 7 here at Oaklawn, but he's always run well here. All of his races are pretty strong, mixed in with some trip notes. So if I can get a clean trip today, I think Gun Flash can come over the top of the field today and get it done for our guy, Abel Ramirez Rodriguez, who's clipping along at 44% at the meet and is currently the leading trainer at the meet. So,
well, there you go. Yeah, no, he should definitely have a nice run saved up for this stretch here.
Yeah, I'm going to play that one to win in my contest, and we'll see what happens. All right, we have race 9, Marco. This is the big one, the Kentucky Derby prep. Possibly. I mean, you might get one. You're going to get some Arkansas Derby horses out here, potentially, at least Rebel horses. It's the Smarty Jones Stakes. And who could forget Smarty Jones? I remember, man, it's been so long. Smarty Jones came out of nowhere. The breeding of Smarty Jones was kind of like, where'd this horse come from? It was Pennsylvania, right? Philadelphia. Stuart Elliott. I just remember he ran through all these races, the Southwest. He was undefeated going into the Kentucky Derby, won the Arkansas Derby, the Rebel, the Southwest, all these races. Won the Derby, won the Preakness, and then who could forget the early move in the Belmont when Birdstone caught him. But why don't you start us off with Kale's Angel, a horse that I picked last time in his stakes win for Pete Miller.
Yeah, we're going to be getting a mile and 16 from 5.5 furlongs. But, the Advent on opening day, that was a nice race. I mean, it didn't turn up tough, real tough. I mean, it was a short field, and the horses in there weren't like the best in the world. The runner-up came back to win, but that was a maiden 110.
Right. That's the D. Wayne Lucas runner. That was a maiden.
Yeah. I mean, that runner ran second there and won next out in the maiden special weight. I mean, that's nice. But I'm looking at this race and I don't see a whole lot in here either.
Okay.
So, and that race was nice. Just, it didn't have any issues whatsoever. If this horse can get the distance, I think it's going to be an easier winner. Now that's just a little bit of my question mark there. It tried a mile on the turf a couple of times in California. Didn't run horrible. I mean, the one was there were stakes races, so we'll see what happens today. But this one seems to like the dirt.
Yeah, you know what? It's weird. For those of you that don't know the schedule of the 3-year-old stakes, the Smarty Jones is run at 8.5 furlongs. Then the Rebel, they cut back to a mile, and then they go back to 8.5 furlongs in the Rebel, and then of course the Arkansas
Southwest.
Derby is 9. Huh?
You said the Rebel twice. You mean, is that the
Did I say Rebel twice? Okay, Southwest is a mile. Excuse me. Rebel is a mile and a 16th, and then the Derby is 9 furlongs. So if this was a short stretch of the mile, I would love Kale's Angel a little bit more. Man, that extra 16th at the second finish line with all the speed in here, I wonder if that compromises him a little bit. Mo Quality is one that should flash some speed. And of course, Hot Property for Brad Cox. It's a maiden breaker facing winners. I don't really like that horse at all at 8-5, but it's going to muddy up the waters early. I ended up going with Coal Battle here. This one should be coming, it's going to settle in perfectly, get the perfect trip. And the Springboard Mile is one that has been pretty good for a lot of these horses coming into the Oaklawn program. Like you remember Will Take Charge for Dwayne Lucas. He won the Springboard Mile, ended up winning a lot of these races in Arkansas that year. There's been several others through the years. So the Springboard Mile is a very good race for 2-year-olds. And it's a good prep for the Arkansas Stakes program for 3-year-olds. And I'll just replay his last race. I think I'm going to get a similar setup as this. This was at a mile.
Mr. Omaha.
And let me just get halfway through it here.
Moving in the 4-path, and a gap of 2 more behind Cole Battles. They go to the backstretch to Blue.
We're the one horse.
Samurai, the late runner. Medicine Dog to his
right here in the yellow
runner. And
back there.
Alley Cat. Actually, the big trailer is all the way back to Keno. Over 20 lengths out of it. With
3rd flight.
To go.
Yellow on the rail.
The backstretch midway, it's Dr. Ruben M. and Speed King. They hook up, and they're 2 clear of Dominant Spirit with over a half-mile left. Trying to split rivals is SA Complex Music to his outside. Mr. Omaha is 6th and about 5 from the front as they get set to go to the final turn. After that, Jolly Samurai, Cold Battle, and Medicine Dog, Broken Alley Cat starting to advance. Backing up now is Blue Angel, and Keno is getting closer to the group with 3 furlongs to go. Into the final turn, Speed King to the inside. Dr. Ruben M to the outside. They're now 4 clear of Dominant Spirit. Complex Music asks for more. Mr. Omaha is 5th and has a lot of work to do. Coal Battle still there. Jolly Samurai angled out for the late run. As they reach the top of the stretch in the Springboard Mile, race on. Speed King to the inside, and Speed King gets the edge now over Dr. Ruben M. Here comes Coal Battle finding new legs. Coal Battle firing on is currently 2nd and coming after Speed King with the 16th to go. Speed King is all out. Coal Battle now within a length. Final yard, Speed King. Coal Battle to the outside. Coal Battle will do it. And the Springboard gets up over Speed King.
Good race. Speed King, not a bad little animal himself.
Was 3rd.
And, he looked a little green in the lane there. I think he can run even better if we can, keep him together.
Couldn't get him straightened out.
And still won the race. And I don't know. I don't know. Vargas has been on this horse the last 2 times and won all 3 of his dirt starts. That's the other key. 3 for 3 on dirt. The turf races were, an allowance race at Kentucky Downs. He didn't run bad in there. Ran 4th. And then the allowance race at Keeneland wasn't very good, but lost to a good next out winner in Poster. So the The dirt race. This is a dirt horse. The race sets up. It's 1 mile and a 16th. I think some of these horses might be getting tired, where this one can maybe move off of that one, that last race, and improve. And why not 9-2? We'll see. It's we'll see. I mean, he went. The top 2 finishers in here will probably run in the Southwest, and we'll see which one of those top 2 are gonna do it. That's all I got. Anything else?
No, I like that pick actually. I like it a lot after going over that.
Yeah, I like Kale's Angel. I think Kale's Angel is very talented. We'll see.
Okay.
Let's see. What's this, Nick? Are any of these going to want 1 mile and 16th? I think this is a battle of attrition after 7 furlongs. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping Coal Battle, obviously based off that last replay, seemed to move through traffic really well and in hand, and then we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, maybe everybody stops and he runs over the top. I mean, who knows? Kale's Angel maybe is just a freak and just gets the easy lead and just fires off the lane. Again, if this was 1 mile, I'd be all over Kale's Angel. That's a short stretch. Interesting little field here.
It is.
All right. The last race to close it out is 1 mile and 16th going. It's A other than. Are these fillies or these are 4-year-olds and up? I had a tough time with this race and I defaulted. Actually, we have the same pick, first and second. The 5 is get a job. And
say what?
Not the 5. Wait, are we on the right race here?
No,
hold on. No, I'm on the wrong. Not get a job. I have the wrong races here. Hold on. I have the.
Oh wait,
Time out. We have.
I'm on the. Okay, the numbers are wrong.
Time out. I have Lambeth.
Yeah, me too. The numbers are wrong, not the name.
Okay, let me change it. Lambeth is the one that we both have. How did that happen?
I got the 11 and the 12.
I got 11.5. You got the 11 and the 12. Let me change the graphic.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
I got Lambeth.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, 11.
You know what happened when I sent you my picks, because I picked this horse last time, but it got canceled on Saturday.
That's what happened. Yeah,
and he was number 5. I didn't change the 5 in front of his name.
I picked Lambeth too, and I saw you picked it, and so I added 5. All right, so we're both on the 11 here. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So Lambeth is. It just made sense here. The race 2 back was 7.5, 1 turn. The 2-turn race got a little bit tired there. An optional claiming tag. Now we're in a straight allowance.
What's the?
It's Joe Sharp with leading jockey Christian Torres. What'd you say, Marco?
The condition. Well,
so this is a straight allowance race. It's not an optional claiming or anything like that.
No, but it's the non-winners of one other.
Yeah, you who have never won 24,000. So somebody could have won a non-winners of 1. That's a small purse.
Okay, I'm going down back to Lambeth here. Okay, yeah, so he won that race in Indiana, and he probably got what, 21,000. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Say good morning to your uncle.
Nick made a point that the Springboard Mile
Hey,
was.
Uncle Steve.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Nick made a point that Springboard Mile was slow in the last quarter. I agree with that. But my horse was green as hell, and I'm hoping he'll not be green today. That's the idea. What's up, Otso? How you doing, buddy?
Good.
That's it? Just good? Are you gonna what are you gonna do today? You're gonna go on the iPad, you're gonna play with Pokemon, or are you gonna do dinosaurs? What's your big thing today? What are you gonna do today?
What are we gonna do today? We're gonna go watch the Smarty Jones.
Are you going to the track?
You want to go to the track?
Let me go.
All right, you go down.
All right, no comment.
I was gonna bring him with me, but it's cold and he's just getting over sick. And
yeah,
I was gonna go watch the workouts this morning, but Yasmina had to go early into work.
Who worked out this morning?
Polska Sue.
Oh,
I wanted to be there for that. She's working out of the gate, and we're gonna, get on her now, to see what she can have. But that didn't happen. I should get the notification.
Anyway, back to the 11. That race 2 back, if you remember, Marco, that's a key race. He ran 4th that day. And Liberal Arts has come back and has, dominated at Fairgrounds by 11 lengths. Banishing came back and crushed with a 103 buyer speed figure. So you're going to see Banishing in, probably the Count Fleet later on. And let's see what else we got here. There's another next out winner, 2 Eagles River. We talked about this one before. It won, got claim for 80 and ran a decent race on the synthetic at Turfway. So you had 3 next out winners, and they're all salty as hell. And by the way, Ben Franklin was in there. Another one that is, I think, running today, who we should probably give another look to. It just seems too much of a plotter type for me, but it's on the undercard, and I think it's the 6th race. I got to double check that. But anyway, that was a very tough race 2 back for the 11. You're not going to see anything in here. The last race wasn't bad either. I mean, showed a little bit of zip out there on the outside. Got just a little bit tired. The winner. Let's look at the company lines in here. Just one came back and didn't really run well, but it was a stake. It was a grade 3. So you can, I guess, toss that one. And of course, Star of Wonder, pretty nice horse for Brad Cox. Got a 95 buyer speed figure at Churchill Downs off the layoff. Has come back and, did win on the 24th there in that race that we just showed. We'll see what happens in its next start.
Lambeth definitely has been running against.
So you're running against
better.
That race 2 back was just super tough.
And fared well. It's not like he was embarrassed by any means in any of these races. So, I mean, just a little bit of relief. I think it's just a little bit of a relief, Well,
I like that we pick up Christian Torres. That's kind of like the feather in the cap, So, what else do we got? I don't know. 12 is like your backup pick. It makes sense for McPeak, second off of a layoff. It said, I watched the replay of that. It said rank first turn. I didn't see too much of it being rank. Maybe a little bit, but I don't think it was enough to where they had to really put it in the comments, but whatever. No big deal. The 5 is the one, Get a Job, my backup. I'm just willing to draw a line through that race. It's a New York bred. I think it'll run okay here. The race at Saratoga I really loved against state breds, but this is a different ballgame, open company. But I think it's going to outrun its odds today. I'm going to have it underneath a possible exacta. But I think it's all about. And oh, by the way, and Dance Some Mo is another one. Just one. Like a starter now, where's a 1 type condition with a good number. I think it's just going to be bet pretty heavy as well. But those are the horses, and we'll see what happens.
Well,
there's some NFL action today. I don't know. I think Pittsburgh's playing Cincinnati. Everybody's saying, Pittsburgh's going to beat Cincinnati at home. I don't know.
Is there anything they're playing for?
Playoffs, both teams. I think the winner's in. I have to look at it.
I thought Pittsburgh clinched.
Did they?
I was looking earlier. They had
maybe they're looking for. Maybe they're still in the battle for the division though.
But Cincinnati is still looking for a spot, right?
Cincinnati has to win, or they're
okay. So then it'll be worth watching. Okay.
Yeah. So you have that game. As far as the bowls go, we talked about it yesterday. Big Ten is dominating. The point spreads came out. I don't know how you felt about this, but Ohio State is laying 6 to Texas. And I think Notre Dame is favored by like 1.5 over Penn State. So those are the 2 point spreads on those games. We'll talk about those in depth. Well, actually, we can't. I think those games are, next Thursday.
Okay. Well,
so by the time we come on next Friday, those games will be over. We'll just do a recap. But I fully expect a Big Ten matchup in the national championship game.
Yeah, I think Ohio State should, like we were talking about, quarterback of Texas. That guy that they have in there now is not going to get it done.
DeCaspers is on. Yeah, he's saying one is Thursday, one is Friday, and I know DeCaspers is a Penn State fan. Notre Dame's offense, it's weird. They have a great defense. And by the way, everybody that was clamoring and saying, oh, Indiana sucks. Dude, Indiana played quite possibly the best defense in college football right now.
Wow, Penn State. I used to follow them back in the day. Remember Kajana Carter and
Kerry Collins? Bobby Ingram was the wideout.
Bobby Ingram, he went to the Bears.
Yeah, Joe Paterno, listen, I don't know what happened with all that stuff, the Sandusky thing, what Joe knew, what he didn't know. I remember when they tore down his statue. I remember you told me he is going to die within 9 months, and he did.
Yeah.
That destroyed him.
Killed him.
But they have a new, that was, 10 years ago already or whatever. Penn State is a great program, great history. I love their uniforms. And I really think we're going to see Ohio State versus Ryan Day has to close it out, though. Texas has not looked great in these bowl games, but they're winning. They do have talent.
That's something.
But they can't run the football. And if they don't run the football, listen, I've been saying it. If they don't put Arch Manning in the game, they're going to get crushed.
Yeah, their only viewers.
Yeah, their only chances if Arch Manning does something there. But I think Ohio State's just too talented right now, and they're on a mission. So I would love to see Ohio State versus either Penn State or Notre Dame. I'm a Notre Dame homer too. I consider them like a Big Ten team. They should be in the Big Ten. They're an independent, but being from Chicago, where everybody likes Notre Dame from Chicago.
Yeah, Notre Dame's a likable school program.
Yep. So you're going to the track today?
Maybe. Depends how he's feeling. It's just a little cold, and it's hard to keep him outside that long and moving around and bouncing around. And
right.
It's just a long day. We go to the track. I might just go up there for a few races and head out. I'll go to Rockies, eat some lunch. But being 2 stakes today, it might be a little bit busy, and I don't know if I want to fight all the traffic.
Okay. Everybody, you guys can join my little group called Buy Me a Coffee. You can get that on your app store. It's a little horse racing community that I put together. And we talk about the family horses on there. We talk about my picks of the day. You know, like I said, I pick other tracks, but I'll do a pick of the day at Oaklawn. I pick, you know, you have my picks for free on the YouTube channel, but I'll let you know which one I'm going to hammer on there. And it's a good little community. Feel free to join. And then like and subscribe our channel, guys. You know, we love doing this for you guys. We put in a lot of work. We handicap every card. Yesterday was a pretty good day, Marco. I don't know. Were you in the positive? I ended up being.
No, I lost $20.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, man, my longer shots just are still running, and
okay. Well, today's another day. I ended up in the positive. Did pretty good yesterday. Had 3 winners in 3 seconds. But today's a new day, man. Smarty Jones. Let's see what happens. I'll be in the contest on Twin Spires. Guys, don't forget about horse tourneys. If you guys want to come hang out at Sam Houston Racetrack for the big NAC tournament down there. There's a feeder. There's feeders going on, and then there's a $118 contest on horse tourneys today. Other than that, I will see you guys. Well, tomorrow we're going to have our Sunday loop. We don't do a live show on Sundays. Until then, we'll see you next week for our live show on Friday. Thanks for joining in, and let's cash some tickets.
All right, let's go cash them.
Later, everybody.
Later.